When buying your first home, it's easy to get swept up in excitement of finding your dream property. I mean, let's face it, the lure of having your own place, of not paying rent anymore, and having the freedom to do with the property as you please can be so strong for some folks that they neglect to fully think through their purchase. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, not every home is a great investment. In fact, some homes may come with hidden issues that could be or actually end up costing you more in the long run. And that being the case, understanding which properties to avoid is key to making a smart, long-term decision that can maximize the value of your investment while minimizing your out-of-pocket expense. So the big question here is, what types of homes should come with red flags and avoid? Well, let's find out. The first rule of real estate, which you may have heard this before, is location, location, location. When it comes to a new home, the location can make or break your decision. Homes near a freeway, train tracks, or airports may seem like a good deal due to their lower prices, but they come with some serious drawbacks. And one of the most obvious issues with homes near transportation zones is constant sounds of traffic. Trains or aircraft can create a downright uncomfortable living environment, especially if you're used to peace and quiet. Now, beyond the noise, living near a high traffic areas can also affect air quality. Freeways in particular can expose your home to higher levels of pollution, which can affect the air quality inside your home. And while the lower price of a home near a freeway or an airport might grab your attention in the get-go, remember that price, it's lower for a reason. So if you end up buying the home, you might be stuck with the property that is difficult to sell later down the road when you decide you want to move because of issues that I mentioned a moment ago. Flipped homes have become popular in recent years, with many buyers drawn to the idea of purchasing a house that has been updated and modernized. However, not all flips are created equal, and there are some important things to consider before moving forward with one of these properties. Now, flipping houses can be a very profitable business, but it's not always done with quality in mind. And with some flippers doing a truly fantastic job, other flippers rush through the process to getting the property back on the market as quickly as possible. And while the home may look brand new on the surface with fresh paint, updated fixtures, the underlying work could be really quite subpar. And in some cases, flippers cut corners with inexpensive materials or use low quality finishes that won't stand the test of time, leaving you on the hook to make potentially costly repairs. Now, another very important issue with flipped homes is that the cosmetic upgrades might hide serious underlying issues. For instance, flippers might cover up water damage, mold or foundation cracks with new drywall, or flooring to make the home appear move-in ready. And these issues may not be apparent during a home tour or even an inspection, but they can reveal themselves later after the fact that you've moved in and you are now officially the owner.
Do you really buy this house?
Flippers sometimes skip necessary permits for renovations to save money or speed up the process too. Now, this can lead to legal issues later down the line, including fines or the need to actually tear out the work that wasn't done according to local building codes. And when a buyer flipped a home, it's absolutely critical to verify that all renovations were done with the proper permits and inspections. So while I strongly recommend avoiding buying a flipped home, there are things that you can do to protect yourself. For example, before purchasing a flipped home, make sure to conduct a thorough inspection, focusing on not only the cosmetic aspects, but also on the structural integrity of the home. Hire a professional to check for hidden problems, and always ask for documentation on the permits and the work done. And if you're uncertain or any sort of, your radar is questioning the quality of the renovations, it might be best to continue your house hunting elsewhere. Properties with structural damage can be some of the most expensive homes to fix, and while they may initially seem like a good deal because of their lower price, the cost of repairs can quickly, and I mean quickly, escalate. And one of the most common types of structural damage is foundation problems. Now, these can range from minor cracks to major shifts that threaten the integrity of the entire house. And if you notice cracks in the walls, sloping floors, or the doors that don't close properly, these could be signs of foundation issues. And you may be saying, Alex, why is this such a huge concern? Well, it's a simple matter of economics. The cost of repairing a foundation can be absolutely astronomical, sometimes running into the tens of thousands of dollars.
$5,000? That's just a deposit.
And the longer that you wait to address these issues, the more expensive the repairs will become. Another sign of structural damage is sagging ceilings or walls. And these issues can arise from water damage, age, or even foundational problems. And if you notice bulging or sagging areas in the ceiling, it could be a sign of underlying issues with the house's framework. This can not only be unsightly, but also dangerous if left unchecked, as it can indicate that the home's structural support is compromised. And if you're considering purchasing a home with visible structural issues, you need to really get professionals in there to carefully assess the safety in the structure and determine whether the repair cost will exceed the value of the property. And if the estimated repair cost outstrips the value of the property, friend, walk away and keep looking. Some homes may seem affordable because they're in need of excessive repairs. And heck, you might be a weekend warrior who isn't scared of DIY projects, but while this may look like an opportunity to save money, you could be in it for a surprise or a series of surprises when you start calculating the cost of getting the home into livable condition.
It's gonna be fun fixing it up, you'll see.
And here's a good example. Homes with old wiring or plumbing systems, these situations can be an absolute nightmare and a slippery slope to deal with. Electrical systems, for example, that are out of date may not be able to support modern appliances and can present serious fire hazards. Similarly, aging plumbing systems can lead to frequent leaks, water damage, and potential health risks from old pipes. So, for example, commonly used in the early mid-1900s were asbestos-insulated pipes, lead pipes, and believe me, you friend, you want nothing to do with either of these. Replacing wiring and plumbing requires licensed professionals, and the cost can add up really, really quickly, especially if the entire system needs to be replaced. Old wiring or plumbing isn't just an inconvenience, though, it can also pose as an environmental risk. So, for example, outdated plumbing systems can be made of lead pipes, which can contaminate your drinking water. Many older homes have lead paint on the walls and asbestos flooring, and when it is disturbed, can be highly toxic. In each of these cases, addressing the problem can be timely, costly experience, and when factoring in these into the repair cost, the home may no longer be the great or as good of a deal as you initially thought it would be. Now, choosing the right home as a first-time home buyer is a major decision that requires a lot of time, research, and attention to detail. So avoiding properties with significant issues can save you time, money, and stress later down the line. No matter the type of home, its condition, or its location, always conduct thorough inspections, hire professionals when necessary, and make sure you're fully aware of all and any potential costs before committing to making the purchase. And if you do your due diligence, get the insights from professionals, and make an informed decision, it will be a much more likely that your investment in that home is going to be a good one. By keeping these red flags in mind, you can find a home that not only meets your needs, but also provides you long-term value and peace of mind. And with that, you have a few tips for avoiding home buying red flags. Now, if you found this information I presented today helpful, do me a favor and give this video a big thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on the channel so therefore you're up to date on all things real estate related as well. And of course, thank you so much for tuning in, and before I go logging off here, if you have any questions relating to buying or selling a home here in Southern California, by all means, give me a shout. You can reach me at 949-726-2601. I'm an agent here in Southern California. I've been here for the better part of 3 decades, and I'd be happy to help you out. So with that said, if I don't see you around here in Southern California, and we'll see you here on the next video.